Hello friends, this is Ganesh and happy to learn together. So today I'm going to explain the script concept in Adobe. So how we can able to use a script to achieve our business requirement. Okay, so hope that will be a little interesting. Let's get into the slide first. So if you see script is everywhere. So even in Adobe also we have an option to include a script to make our form little more dynamic or able to achieve what business needs. Okay. So a script helps to control the form at runtime and then even able to do the basic stuff called enabling and disabling a Adobe component while generating the PDF form. Okay. It is mainly used to change the properties of your Adobe component. It could be a table row or a column or a page. You can apply some background colors and you can do some calculations for on your form. So here what happens is it's not a property of an Adobe they are introduced. So they are existing options like JavaScript or form calc. It's kind of a language. So they're adapting those two inside your Adobe. So whatever is possible by using those language, you're able to make it happen inside your Adobe. So that's what you have a lot of functions, predefined function, which is relevant to that language that we are able to make use of it inside our Adobe form. Okay, and the validations, it's like data validation. It's a very basic scenarios which we are going to achieve with the help of these two languages. Actually two languages so far inside this Adobe, so I'm talking about those two only here. We'll see what are two languages. And script editor, so where I can start writing the code. I'm talking about inside the SFP, especially the layout tab. So you have a lot of palettes and one of the palette is script editor. It's always top of your design page. Probably you might noticed it. Okay, so in that particular the small editor, yes, we are going to write the code. Actually Adobe layout is a very it's filled with a lot of things. So even inside you're going to have a small script editor where you're going to write the script languages for your Adobe components. Okay, and the path is palettes script editor. And these are the two languages currently enabled inside the Adobe: form calc means calculation and JavaScript. Okay, and then script events. So events, if you take in ABAP, like report events, there are some specifications also, right? When the event to be triggered, at selection screen, startup selection, at line command. The same way, events means there are some classifications related to the language. So here these are the events which is available inside our editor. So where exactly your code to be triggered at the time of initialization or enter, exits, or some calculation, mouse enter, mouse exit. So many things are available. So mostly we use initialize and then form ready. Maybe it's a little down, form ready. It's like a PBO, before process before the form triggers my code to be executed. So these are the two events mostly we use it. Okay. So not all Adobe components are applicable for a script. There are some restrictions. Okay. So how we can know? It's very simple. Once you have a script, have a cursor, like click on it. The script editor is enabled if it is applicable. Otherwise, it won't enable it. So the script editor is not enabled. So you can understand. So this component, on this component, we are not able to write any script. So there are a few options, like once you have a component in your layout and you have an option in the object palette. So here you are able to see all the things which is coming. There is a line. Sorry. There is a line, so I just draw over it. Before the line, whatever component you are seeing, it's applicable for script. After the line, whatever you're saying, it's not applicable for script. Okay, so it's very simple. Once you have selected and see the script editor is disabled, So no way, if it is enabled, you can write your own script. So there are two languages you mentioned, right? FormCal. So this is actually a default scripting language for your Adobe Designer, and it's preferred to use mostly for predefined functions, okay, for the business needs. But still, you can write your own code like if condition and everything. But we prefer to go with the functions on for this particular language. And the functionalities like if it is or, there are some symbols, or you can use the same for and means and, equal means double equal. So these are related to script language, so mostly you might aware of it, okay. And then what are the calculation functions we have under this language, like if, length, count, date, it's lot. Okay, so a lot of functions are available and properties are available, so you can just make use of it. And okay, so there is a Adobe support. So where can I find all the functions? It's very simple. Again, it belongs to Adobe because this is a default language for the designer. So the proper help is coming from Adobe only. I will show you that. So I have showed you already about the F1 help for the Adobe. If you press F1 for any of the component, it opens a help from adobe.com. So here, this also just you have like type it like form cal functions. You will get this page as a PDF from the same adobe.com. So you have all the relevant functions are available for this language. Okay. So if you go down, function syntax and everything, so like how do I expression, so logical and just click it. So logical and is and you can able to use it. And if you want to go for a date, like some functions, so string functions here, so encode, decode, concatenate, just click concatenate. So how you can do a concatenation, like a syntax, how you can perform. So all the things are available here with an example. So here you have examples also. Okay, so a lot of things available in one PDF itself, especially for the functions you want to calculate, you want to do it. Okay, and then same thing, financial functions, logical functions, URL functions, and then string functions. You have date and time, so you have a lot of things for date and time. It's very basic. Okay, so date format, what's the format and examples, everything is available in this PDF. Okay, just go through it if you want to use any of the function under this formcal language. So the next is JavaScript. So I don't say much about JavaScript. It's used many places. It's so dynamic. We can achieve a lot of things using the JavaScript. So a few things about it's more dynamic and standard scripting language normally for the UI developers, and it's an object-oriented approach. Okay, and a few things about how to access the component, because if you want to write a code, very basic to be like how to get the value from the component, how to get the control of the component, how to assign a value of the value to the component. So these are very basic things. Okay, so whenever you open, if this is a component, if you open a script editor, okay, before script editor, so the component, where the component is placed, it's placed in here. It's a layout, okay, hierarchy and layout. If the hierarchy, if you see, it's coming under data, it's not in a master page, it's in a subform, it's a body page, right? So data, and then it comes to a subform, and then there is a text. So if you want to access this particular component, probably, okay, I'll show you later. If you want to access this component, so you have to follow this hierarchy. Okay, so data, subform, and text. Okay, because script to understand where your component is. Okay, so just get the control of it, then do whatever you want, assign a value, or you want to hide it, whatever it is, change the property, you can do it. So how we can achieve it? It's already in the header line. Header line in the sense, if you select the component in your layout, and if you go to the script editor, it shows like this, where actually you are. So you are in data, and you are in subform 0. I have only one subform, and in that subform, the control is in text. Okay, so that is the meaning of this line. This is called header line, and Ready form, so it's nothing but an event. Which event currently are you in? So initialize is one event. Same way, ready form is one event. Okay, and then how you're going to write a code for JavaScript, whether it's a client or server or client and server. Okay, so these are the options which you are able to change in your script editor. I want form calc, I want language script, so form cal is going to be listed here, and run it if you want to run in a client or a server or both. So that is also, you have an option here. And this show Dropbox has all the events, all the applicable events for your component. And here, this one, you're able to get a function, and this is to check the script syntax. Okay, this will look like. So this is a basic understanding. So I'll show you. If you want to write a code on top of this component, if you select, you are inside the script editor for this component. I'll show you in the system for better understanding. Okay, so when we want the hierarchy, I will show you. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's get into the system and start writing the code on top of your component. This is my system. Let's get into the transaction, and here I'm going to say it's scripts interface. I have already one, z y inter, it's fine, local object, excuse me. So I have few data medium which I declared in the interface level. So I need few now. So let me have a date and text, then form text. So these are string, and this is a date actually. Okay, so if you see, the property is date. Okay. Okay, 1 second. So I want to show you the types, nothing much. Okay, so these are strings, and this is one boolean, and this is actually a data. Okay, this is a date field. So now go to layout. Okay, so here, if you are able to see, okay, it looked like this. So if you're able to see a blue thin line, then the script editor is already opened. Okay, so if not, if you're not able to see this, then go to palettes, script editor. So, okay, it will enable it. Okay, it's a simple way to just open your script editor. Okay, so now I don't have anything on my page, so let me have something. Go to data view, get the text first. Okay, so this is a text. I'm going to see the script editor is applicable for this or not. So open the script editor. Okay, so it's enabled, at least the events are enabled. So if you change the event, rest of the things also getting enabled. Okay, and the language, so what do you want, form cal or JavaScript, and run it client server, otherwise client and server. So let me start with form cal. So here it is going to change. This is my header line. This header line shows where this exactly this component is placed. It's placed under data. If you see the hierarchy, data subform text, data subform text, and the method I have chosen, the event is initialized. So if you change, it automatically change here also, mouse exit. Okay, and the same way, if you change the language, it changes here also. It's just an information like how our function module, the headers are displayed the same way. So select, it changed to form cal client, and I'm going to use initialize. Okay. So now this space is for my component. So meaning it's already decided whatever you're going to write, it's applicable for this component. Okay, so in the code level, you don't want to again write data subform text. So to understand the script where my component is already inside the component only, I'm going to write the code. So it's full control of your component. You can start writing the code directly. And as you know, the scripts are case sensitive. So if the your component is in all caps, you have to mention all caps only. Okay, so for example, I'm going to give a default value for this text. So if you say txt dot, it will show you what are the possible properties or you're able to use against this component. Okay, suppose if you're saying txt dot, it is not enabled because this is not recognized, this one, because it's a case sensitive. Okay, so you have to make sure text dot, I'm assigning a value, so raw value equals 12. So you need a few knowledge or just learn it about the syntax, whether it's a single quotes or double quotes, the statement end with a semicolon. Those are very common thing you have to learn. Okay, the JavaScript. Let me change to formcal. Okay, so formcal also you have this option, text dot raw value. Okay, it comes, no problem. So here it's 13 dot. Okay, comment. So if you want to comment, just double slash. So this line is commented. So you can do the syntax check by using this button. So if there is any syntax, that particular line gets selected with kind of red color. And if you keep the cursor, it shows what is the issue. So you can't check the syntax using our ABAP check or activate. It doesn't have connection between these two. Okay. So at least I have a text now. Just pass a value to my component. Let's see how it behaves. So go to context always and activate it. Then execute. So as you are aware, I don't have the Adobe. So okay, this is some because of the import parameter. I have some, what do you call? Sorry, it's because of the interface. I have a mandatory parameter. So just forget about it. Execute and print preview. It actually opens in this, means download and open, because I don't have an Adobe install in this system. So open that. So now 30. So this is the way the script works. Okay. So if you want to use some calculations, yes, you're able to use it. Go to layouts. And make sure before go to the script editor, you selected your component. So it's automatically take the concerned particular script editor. Yes, if you select, it's already there, so it's enabled it. Okay, so this way you can do, or if you want, I need some value equal to, it's very simple one, I can say sum of like 100, 20. So just go through the syntax in the help. Okay, and another one, this is a form, another one, how I have to know whether the component is applicable for the script. Okay, so open a object, and here you're able to see, just click. So these are applicable, these are not applicable. So let me have a rectangle and see how the script editor behaves. So I need a rectangle. Object library. So here, right? Let me close this. So now the cursor is in rectangle, and even though if you change, you're not able to change even the events also. So these all disabled. Okay. So this is a common one. Even the script is a common one, or all events is a common, but it's not enable your editor. It's not enable these options. So meaning you're not able to write any script on top of, especially on top of this component. Okay. Okay, so now go to context and execute. Let's see the output of the function. Okay, so let me Okay, I thought I can add one more function and show you. Okay, let's see this and we can add few more because it just honestly takes some time. So here it comes 120. So we'll see another function. So concatenate. Let's have a form text in our layout. This is a string attribute. Then we'll have a concatenate again from the form cal script language. So go to data view, form text. Here I have a text. I'm keeping here a little bigger one because I want to keep some strings over here. Then this part I'm going to use form ready. So previously we used initialize and change this to form cal. So here form text dot raw value equal concatenate your balance. So by default, you don't have a space, so you have an option called space of how many character you want. So these are from the language perspective, you have to find the syntax. So now you will get a space, so it depends on the size. If you say 10, you'll get a 10 empty spaces, okay? So this is a concatenate. Then, okay, context, activate, excuse me. Then execute, and print review, open. So here comes your balance. Okay. So now I'm going to add another function which converts the number into words. So these things, once you get a requirement, probably we are trying to find whether it can be achieved through a script language. So whenever you find a requirement, if you okay to develop through script, so try to find with the relevant help about the language or script language. So here, okay, select this. So now I'm going to add another one called word number, WORDNUM. Okay, so it's going to be like 155. Then I need a dot. Okay, sorry, it's a dot. So I'm concatenating a few things here, some words and another function and a dot. Okay, just check. Okay, there is an error. So keep the cursor. It shows okay, error syntax near token comma. Okay, so yeah, concatenate is always end here, right? Okay, so now it's good. Okay, now go to context. I think word num W and N also capital. Execute. Sprint review. Okay, so balance 155. Okay, again, if you want a space, give a space like space of 1, you will get a space or empty space over here. Okay, so these are the very few things, at least this is just a beginning of how to use a script inside your Adobe form. Okay, so next we'll go to the JavaScript, or yeah, we'll go to the JavaScript over there. Let's go to layout. In the JavaScript, I will show you how to write a if condition and how to write a condition based on another field, because so far we have selected the component and write the component, means assign a value for it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the value of the another component, and then based on that I'm going to decide whether I need to enable or disable my component using a property. So for that, I'm in layout. Okay, let's have a little code over here. Data view. I have a text already. I have a form text already. We have a date. Okay, let's have a date first. I think I need one more field because I don't want to write codes both in script as well as form cal language. It's a date, so date I'm going to do initialize, and by default it's come JavaScript. It's fine for me. So here I'm going to give date dot raw value equal to date. Okay, yeah, that's it. And then, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have if condition. Okay, so let me have a if condition here. It's hard-coded value. So t. Okay, let me write it in the text because that is easy for me. I don't want to use one more. So here I'm going to use value for this as Java. Just a hard-coded. I will do it dynamically also. So now I'm going to write a if condition. So I prefer just change this to JavaScript. You can do at any time, okay? But make sure the syntax is relevant for the script language. Let me have a bigger space. Okay, now the if condition is if text dot value equal to, so it's a double equal Java. So there is no end of statement here. The period should not, the semicolon should not come because it's a logical condition. It should continue. So if s, so this is a syntax for that. So what I'm going to do is text dot value equals true. Here you need an end of statement. Yes. So you can do it line by line, but for the space constraints, I write everything in one line, like including the open and close parentheses. False. Okay. So now the expectation is the text value to be true because it's hard coded as Java. Okay. So two things to be have seen. One is a date function, another one is text. Let's go to the context. Back to Adode. Then execute. Execute, print review, open. So here is a date comes and the text is true. Okay, it's a hard-coded one. So now if we change the value of text is not a Java, then you'll get a false here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to determine this, maybe the presence is nothing but a disable enable. Here the property is presence. Okay, so do I need to present, do you need to enable or disable this based on the value which I am receiving from the field called type. Okay, so let's get into that. So I need a type. So type is not here, right? So that is actually import parameter. So I want a type also. So based on this, I'm going to write the code. So go to layout. Excuse me. Time being, I'm closing the script editor. Data view. So type, I'm just keeping the type here because it needs to be received from my end. So I'm going to keep it in the design view and then go to the text. Now go to the script editor. So here I'm going to receive, maybe you can comment it or just keep it, leave it as no, not an issue because I'm going to write after that. So now I need to get the type. So type is the same like text, right? It's available in the data, subform and text. So let me have a value of this. So now I am in a different component, so I can't write like text dot or type dot. So I'm not able to do that. Okay, so for a beginning stage, better you copy that type from his own header line. So go here, just change something, you will get a header line. Okay, I want this. Just copy this one. Okay, and then go to type, script editor. I'm going to capture the value. So these are the syntax to value of any component. So for that, I need some methods or functions, whatever it is. So resolve node. So this one I want. So I'm capturing the value of a component, which I got not selected it, but it's a part of my design. So for that, the length or the path is already copied. So this is within single quotes. Okay. Dot row value. Okay, so now the value is the whatever the value I entered in before executing my script, it's an import parameter. So that value is captured in the variable. So now I'm going to decide if the value is 10. It's a string, I believe. So let me go with double quotes. And I need to disable text dot presence as hidden. Okay, else one beauty in JavaScript is as you are in this component, maybe very long back you have heard about this keyword or I can say a reference while you start learning Java, this. So this refer the particular content, the exact content or the current content or current component, whatever it is. So here anyway you are in the current component, the script editor is applicable for this component. So instead of writing the name of the component, you can write this. Okay, this dot presence. So both are same. You can either write or you can use this equal to visible. Okay, so hope it should work. Let's see. So excuse me. So here I just get the value of the other component value. Based on that, I'm going to decide my enable or disable property of this component. Okay, go to context, back to it, and execute. So now 10, right? Okay, 10 means hidden. So let me go with the other way. 20, execute. It should be enabled now. The field, yeah, at least the field is enabled. Text. So if it is at 10, it should disable. Execute, print review, open. It's gone. The text is gone. So this is a way to have you can change the property based on your runtime value also. Okay. So maybe the last one for today's session is I'm going to have a what's the layout here? This one, the internal table. Okay, ITEKPO. Then go to layout. It's a simple one. I want to show you how to access, basically how to access a particular column of your internal table or table basically. So just disable for a minute. Go to data view. So let me close this. Okay, I want this one, right? I'll keep it here. Okay, so now I'm going to assign value to this particular column based on some condition. So first I need to read the value of this particular column and then write a normal if condition. Okay, so go to editor and change to initialize, and I'm going to do it in JavaScript. So how to read the value, already we have seen how to read the value of a component. Now it's it's a different component because it comes to an IT underscore EKPO and then data and then a field. Okay, it has basically it's an internal table or work area. So I need to read the value of a particular field. So for that, val equal to, so this can be any name, is not always val, it can be any name. So xfa dot resolve node and then just paste it whatever we have copied. Then I need a raw value of it. So here there is a space, okay, not here, before that there is a space, and here after that there is a space. Now dot, no, so these are little important in this, yeah, script, so syntax and everything. So now the value of the epsilon is copied, so I'm going to do a simple check if the value double quote equal 10, excuse me, and then we know the, so this is already in the particular component, so I can use this. So this raw value equals some value, so like 080, and sorry, this one here, close it. Else part, I'm going to open, and this dot raw value equal 90. So I have to inform one more thing. This interface is already done, so mostly I don't have the item 10. So I believe all the records is comes to 90 only. This is a rental system. So I'm not sure the logic how I return in the interface is very long back generated, so don't worry about it. So at least either way it's 90 or 80, whatever it comes, it's success. Let's see how it works. I did activate in layout, but don't do that. Go to context. See, it shows revised. So better always activate from the context. Then execute. So this is required 12, some value, execute. Just open it. So here it's always comes as 90. Yeah, it's almost everything is 90 here. Maybe I have to comment the code and see what the comes. I have just checked on the previous one. It's always 20, 30, 40 based on some var conditions is enabled the interface. So that is the reason. So this is a way you have to just play around with the script with the default functions or some syntax. It depends on your business need. Okay, so this is very basic about Adobe script. We have a lot more in a script, so we'll see all in the following videos. So thank you so much for your time and see you in the next video. Just go through it. If you have any doubt, please let me know. See you and bye bye.